Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Nicole says, I love this topic. Yay. I'm glad. And she says, it's definitely important to live in an abundance mindset. I agree. Celebrate you for where you are and define it for yourself. Absolutely. Celebrate yourself for where you are, right? Where you are today in this moment. Like, again, 5 years ago, 5 years ago, 5 years ago, I was living at home with my mom and I felt like a failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now I'm in, you know, and even back then I wasn't a failure, right? But now, like, I'm married. Again, I'm married, and that's a huge feat for me because, like I said, I don't have a lot of good examples of marriage in my family. I don't. And while we have our issues and stuff, like, us being married right now is still a win. Us showing up and loving each other every day is still a win. You know what I mean? And I think it's important that we take things moment by moment. Because even if, say, later on, we do divorce, not that I'm hoping that happens, does that mean I'm a failure? Does that mean that my husband's a failure? No, it just means something happened, right? But at the same time, what I have control over is me showing up and still trying to love my husband the best way that I can. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I have control over. I ain't got control over none of the other stuff. So yeah, I agree with you. Celebrate you for where you are right now and define it for yourself. Absolutely. Cause again, I'm as an artist, I'm not trying to be, cause I define it for myself, right? The world will say, oh, if you're not on, you know, this pop star standards or this soul singer standards, then you're a failure. If you don't have this many followers on Instagram, and people use this stuff to judge people's worth, and it's so stupid and silly. But like, oh, you only got 300 followers on Instagram, you're not successful. Says who? Since when? Instagram hasn't even been around for as long as I've been alive. So what was I doing before here? You know what I mean? And even for those who have been alive since Instagram's, well, that's crazy, the thought of that. But for those who have been alive since Instagram's like start, that does not determine whether or not you're successful or not. It does not. It has no say. It's stupid. It's dumb. And so again, if you have things in your life that are kind of telling you that you're not successful, take them out. Take them away. If it's people, stop hanging out with them. If it is Instagram, stop being on it. And I know it's easier said than done because it is an addiction. But do what you have to do so that you're not tearing down yourself because you're not reaching this goal that other people say that you should have reached by now, or this people say that you should pursue, because you might find out you might not even like that. You climbing your own ladder and you look at the other person's ladder and you're like, oh snap, I need to be over there. You get on that ladder and you realize you get to the top and you're like, I hate it here. I hate it here. So if we're always chasing, and also one more thought before we get ready to go, people's definition of success changes so often. What was successful 5 years ago is not right now. Before it was like for my parents, it was like, get yourself a good government job, you know, with some benefits and you're good to go, right? Today's generation is like, some people, it's not everybody, and I think that's silly too, but some people are like, oh, you got a job, you're not an entrepreneur, you're not making money, like, you're a failure. Like, you're a pawn or a sheep. And it's like, girl, what? What are you talking about? People have to work. Like, some people have to work. And that's okay. But yeah, it's like, it's silly for us to chase success because it's fickle, it's fleeting. People are fickle and fleeting. They don't know what they want day to day. And so we're basing our worth and our value on what simple people say. And you have to really define what success is for yourself. And also, like I said, go back to your creator. Go back to your maker. God tells me what successful is. Again, he's not concerned if I'm rich. He's not concerned if I'm wealthy, if I'm famous. He don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? Like, he brought me in this world with worth and value. You feel me? And if I'm doing what he tells me to do, then why can't that just be successful? Nicole also says, they say that comparison is a thief of joy. Yes, I agree. You'll be so happy and content and be like, look at me in my little apartment. Like, first of all, this is fancy to me. I never had like a fancy apartment. I had a roommate before, but that was different. But like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm living in an apartment, you know, with my husband. And so I could look at other people's houses and apartments and condos and be like, oh my God, they're living lavish. I want that. And then I'm missing out on the joy that's here. God's like, this ain't enough. Like, look at you coming up, right? But if I'm looking at other people, the joy will be snatched away because I gave it away. You know what I mean? I threw it down. The contentment, I threw it down and was like, no, God, I actually want that. You know what I'm saying? It's like kids. You have a bigger cracker than me. You still got a cracker? Some people ain't even got a cracker, you know? But anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope this made sense. And I hope that you start to define what success is for your own self, for your own, you know, self-worth, your own your own self. And don't put your definition of success on other people either. Like, as an artist, you have no idea how many people have said, like, when are you gonna get a real job? You're trying this music thing and you're not really successful. And it's like, well, how do you know what my definition of success is? How do you know what that is? And it's kind of like a low blow. It can be really hurtful for people. But yeah, don't put your definition of success on other people. Really just ask them, what is your definition of success? You know what I'm saying? And take this with you, not just in your artistry, not just in your business or your, your dreams, but in your everyday. The fact that you can swallow and eat food, that's successful. The fact that you're taking a deep breath, that's successful. The fact that you're trying your best, you're trying your very best. Even if that best is like this much, right? Versus like how much you usually give, like this much, right? This much, if you're doing your best, that's success. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this made sense. I love you guys. Love yourselves. Love each other.